This is a very mixed bag of a film. What's up, you guys? It's Jonathan Carter, and today we are going to be talking about Osgood Perkins' The Monkey.
It's basically the devil.
The Monkey is an adaptation of Stephen King's short story under the same title. It has been brought to life on screen from writer-director Osgood Perkins, who helmed last year's horror movie Longlegs. Now, I really had a lot of anticipation for Longlegs, but by the end of it, I was just not a big fan of the movie. That being said, though, I do have my Longlegs t-shirt on. While I wasn't a big fan of the movie, I think this shirt design is like sick, and so I had to buy it. It's very much my aesthetic, and I have it on to talk about Osgood Perkins' new film. Now, before we jump into this, please be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to leave your thoughts on The Monkey in the comments. If you're going to leave a spoiler, be sure to tag that in your comment. With all that out of the way, let's get into this review. Like I said right at the top of this video, y'all, this is a really mixed bag of a film. So, the premise of the movie is this toy monkey that is inherited into this family. It kills people in very, like, grotesque, over-the-top ways. And you don't really know, like, why the monkey is doing it or how it's doing it or anything like that. This is a very, like, dark comedy, grotesque horror film, almost in the vein of like Final Destination, because people really die in this movie in insane ways. Like, someone will get shot and they, instead of just like having the bullet, the bullet hit them and then they die, they explode like into like a million pieces. Like, insane imagery on screen here. Now, the first half of this film, where the story starts with this family, it is odd, it's quirky, it's weird, but it's enjoyable enough. Like, I really bought into that. This family's inherited this monkey that kills people, and these two twin boys are trying to figure out, like, what to do with it. They're keeping it a secret, but anytime they mess with it, it ends up killing somebody that's close to them. And it is a very odd story, and it is, like I said, dark humor, but there's enough in there where you're like, yeah, this is weird, but something about this is so off enough that it's kind of, like, enjoyable. Like, I'm laughing a little bit, even though I don't feel like I should be. Now, the mom in this part of the story is played by Tatiana Maslany, she's kind of known. She went big 2 years ago in the MCU She-Hulk. Not a big fan of that show. She is phenomenal here.
Everybody dies.
I mean, all of her scenes, she acted them so well. I was, like, fully surprised. I really enjoyed her in this movie in the small amount of screen time that she has. So, as you get into the second part of the film, no spoilers here, like I said, but there's a pretty massive time jump, and once that happens, the movies feel like two different movies. Like, the movie quickly falls apart. Like, it's very odd how, like, abrupt it happens. Like, you can feel it immediately. My theory to this, why it starts to feel so weird, is I haven't read Stephen King's short story, The Monkey, but I have a theory that story might end before this time jump in the movie. Like, there's no time jump in the story, and because this director wanted to make a full-length film out of this short story, he has to take some creative liberties and go off source if there's no more source left, right? Like, if the story's over. I think that's what's happened here, because the second half of the film, after this time jump, does not feel like something that Stephen King would write. And the first half and the second half of the movie feel so tonally different, and it's very weird, and it makes for a very incomplete kind of viewing to the film. I went from being semi on board with what was happening and laughing along with all this crazy stuff to just flat out being bored.
This is boring. Delete.
All of a sudden, these same characters we watch at the beginning of the film have now stopped talking like humans. None of the world interacts as actual people would, and there's just, like, the problems in the second half of the movie are not present in the first half of the movie. And so I have a theory. Like I said, that's my theory. The writer-director is the same guy. He went off script, off source, and couldn't keep up with what Stephen King is capable of. I'm sorry. Like I said at the beginning, I was not a big fan of Longlegs, last year's like hit horror movie by Neon. And after this, like after giving The Monkey a fair chance, this is like, again, the same writer director as one guy, Osgood Perkins. I don't think he has the sauce, y'all. He has an eye for imagery. Like there's some great shots in Longlegs, there are some great shots in The Monkey, like aesthetically pleasing shots, but beyond that, it seems like when he's not working with somebody else's material, he really does not have an ear for how people would actually act or how the world actually works, because that's the same problem. This same problem I have the second half of The Monkey is the same problem I have with the entirety of Longlegs. They just don't feel like they exist in the real world. Nobody acts like a normal human. And yeah, I know people love him. I know he's got like a cult following. I just don't think he has the sauce, y'all. Wrapping this one up, the verdict. I am going to give The Monkey a 4 out of 10. And on a see it, stream it, or skip it, skip it. If you've seen The Monkey, let me know your thoughts about the movie in the comments. Like I said, if you're going to leave a spoiler, make sure you tag spoilers there. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram for shorter reviews of this kind of video, or over on Spotify if you prefer podcast versions of these videos. All that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all on the next one.